Eriksen, Garnacho hasn't stopped. Garnacho has scored in stoppage time, and Manchester United have nicked it.
For updates in the world of football,
Sterling for Liverpool. He's seen Henderson face to face with Fernandinho. Henderson! Oh wow! Lift the Anfield roof. Company's error, yes.
Formula One,
Because down the inside now comes Carlos Sainz on Lewis Hamilton. Sainz just squeezes Hamilton, who goes over the rumble strip.
cycling, boxing, basketball, and lots more. Listen to us live on Sport Rush, Mondays to Fridays, 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. on Al-IyamoyeTV Radio. For more inquiries, please call 0806 242 9799. Sports Rush, your everyday dose of sports.
Muslim brothers and sisters out there. It's SPORTVILLE on Al-IyamoyeTV and radio. And I am YAZID.
I'm SOWOLE MOSHOOD SMD Sports.
Okay, starting with today's discussion on Chelsea. Chelsea, who have been chasing one of the good midfielders in Brighton, Moises Caicedo, and Brighton have eventually raised the price for Moises Caicedo to £105 million, and minimum they can collect from Chelsea is £100 billion. Do you see this as Brighton's way of collecting more money from Chelsea, or Chelsea's dullness from the beginning of brought in Moises Caicedo from the beginning, and now they have inflated the price on Moises Caicedo?
You know, I can't really blame Chelsea, and I'll blame them as well. The reason why I will not blame them is that the reason why they don't want to pay the £80 million in the first instance, they don't want to overpay. Let's assume it's still Dybala and Dybala, they are still there at the end of the affair as Chelsea for player transfers. I know the £80 million we have been paid to Brighton and Albion, and seeing Brighton increasing the price, I expected such to happen because Chelsea are not that smart on this guy's transfer. For sometimes they talked about him later, and Chelsea really fucked up at one point, whereby Manchester United said they will not give Chelsea what they want on Mason Mount, that they are going to go for Moises Caicedo. That is when I expected Chelsea to have struck the deal with Brighton and Albion. Don't forget, in the January transfer market, Moises Caicedo also want to leave Brighton for Arsenal, whereby Brighton are demanding for £70 million then, and Arsenal said they will only pay £60 million, and at the end of the day, it stayed at Brighton. I still see Brighton just only want to make Chelsea to suffer. They want them to pay for the deal for Lewy Kowi. Don't forget, Brighton coach Roberto Di Azabi wants Lewy Kowi to come back to Brighton, and Chelsea say they don't want to release this guy. So now it's a strategy for Brighton. They want to get in more money. Okay, let's look for a way, because if you look at Moises Caicedo and Declan Rice, we can't compare both, because Declan Rice, this is the last season is like the fourth season for Declan Rice in Premiership, and this is the fourth season for Moises Caicedo at Brighton and Albion. So we can't compare. Although Moises Caicedo has been younger than Declan Rice, 21 years of age, 24 years of age for Declan Rice, it might be younger, but paying huge amount of money at 105 million pounds on Moises Caicedo, I think is the feel is too much. 80 million pounds should be enough to strike the deal for more. And Chelsea, Brighton also see that Chelsea really need a replacement for N'Golo Kante. They saw the eagerness in Chelsea. Had they made Chelsea strike the deal before N'Golo Kante left Chelsea, Brighton will not see them as if they really need someone to replace N'Golo Kante. I still see Moises Caicedo still joining Chelsea I still see him still joining. Brighton just want to hike the price. Let's see whether Chelsea will pay the money or not. But I don't see Chelsea paying 100 or 105 for Moisés Caicedo.
Okay, also on Paulo Dybala to Chelsea from Roma. Paulo Dybala to Chelsea due to work out for the Chelsea's team next season campaign.
What Chelsea should have done first, that's what they are doing last. Last season, I expected Chelsea to sign Paulo Dybala on a free transfer. Even though I expect Paulo Dybala to come to Chelsea on a free transfer than Raheem Sterling. How old Raheem Sterling? Raheem Sterling 28 years of age. Paulo Dybala 29 years of age. Raheem Sterling was bought at the age of 40 million pounds from Man City. Paulo Dybala left Juventus on a free transfer to AS Roma. To me, Paulo Dybala is still a good player. Let's look at Paulo Dybala's transformation from Palermo to Juventus, how he played, how he scored goals for Juventus. If Chelsea are able to bring in Paulo Dybala, it will be a plus to their attack next season. At least the burden of goals will be shared, and the experience of Paulo Dybala will be very instrumental to Chelsea next season if Chelsea are able to bring in Paulo Dybala. And I think if Paulo Dybala joins Chelsea, he will also play for Chelsea and he will score goals for Chelsea as well, due to his experience that he has in international football, Juventus, Palermo, and AS Roma and the likes. It will be a good deal for Chelsea and Paulo Dybala if he eventually joins Chelsea.
Okay, Mason Mount, which was interviewed yesterday, he said Chelsea have been giving him signs that he would leave and he will no longer be used in the team. That's why he made the decision to leave to Manchester United. Yesterday on Twitter or social media, we see Chelsea fans burning down Mason Mount shirt, tearing it off, ripping it off, and posting it in the social media saying Mason Mount is not our blood. Mason Mount is meant to go to the Red. Even though he wants to leave Chelsea, he should move out of England to another team. Mason Mount to Red has betrayed Chelsea and all. What do you see to that going on around?
We should expect such a thing to happen. The only mistake I say that Mason Mount made was granting an interview when the speculation is still around the corner. Don't forget, when Mason Mount granted the interview, his hair were blonde. After like 2 weeks, Man U announced his deal and his hair were black again. So it means he knows what he wanted to do before. And to be candid, I can't really blame Mason Mount. But it's just the circumstances that warrant him to go to Manchester United. Don't forget, Chelsea has been sending players to Manchester United before. Like Dramata, Mathematic. None of them, the fans does not they didn't burn any of them jersey, because they know the kind of impact those two players has at Chelsea. Then Mason Mount leaving Chelsea at the tender age, going to Manchester United, I expect such a thing to happen. Because let's look at what happened yesterday. I know we're still going to that. Let me just chip in that. Cesar Azpilicueta, when he was granting his goodbye message to Chelsea, you will see it from his house. You will see him that he's very remorseful to get out of Chelsea, shedding tears after 11 years at Chelsea. It was bought in from Olympic Marseille 2012, £7 million. And he really did more than what are the price that brought him to Chelsea. So Chelsea fans should calm down, should not really blame Mason Mount, and most of the blame should not be apportioned to Chelsea owner as well, because what Mason Mount is glamoring for at Chelsea, to me also, I don't see Chelsea giving him such amount of money, because performance base, last season, 2 seasons ago, Mason Mount is not there. Mason Mount is not there. I was talking to one of my colleagues yesterday. I said, Mason Mount, I hope he will not continue with injury at Man U. Mason Mount is like Foden. Look at when Foden burst into the screen at Man City. Everybody was like, this is another good player that we know. Mason Mount, the past 3-4 years now, till now, the performance has dropped, really dropped at Man City. At Man U now, will he be able to replicate the form with Mason Mount for Derby County and the first season at Chelsea under Frank Lampard, and when Chelsea will crown the Champions League champion? But to me, Bonnie is Chelsea. We should respect. Is Chelsea at Chelsea. We should respect that being academy. Why did Chelsea fan why did they born Loftus Chelsea? They didn't born that because they think Manchester United is a close rival, and they shouldn't blame Maseman. They should blame the owner for sending Maseman to Man City, to Man U. So they didn't blame Maseman. He only saw the deal and he went for the deal that pays him £250,000 per week. It's not a small amount of money. It's requesting for £200,000 from Chelsea, and they are unable to give him. So Chelsea gain from the transfer, and Man U also gain from the transfer.
Okay, Marco Rios decided to pass on his captain armband to either of Gregor Kobel, Nico Schlotterbeck, Niklas Sula, or Emre Can. What do you think about the next armband for Dortmund?
You know what? Michael Rose, I'm very sad for the guy, for the man, because this should be one of the. I think two teams are seen for doing some bad to some players. Michael Rose, for sometimes, a whole lot of teams are Michael Rose, like of Chelsea, like of Man U, Real Madrid. I could remember very well that 5 years ago. At the end of the day, they said they don't want to sell this guy. It continued at Borussia Dortmund. Now he wants to release the captain armband. To me, at Borussia Dortmund, maybe the best person to get the captain armband, if I will evaluate it very well, I will take one Matt Hummels. Matt Hummels is a very good player, experienced player. He moved from Borussia Dortmund back to Bayern Munich, from Bayern Munich back to Borussia Dortmund again. So I could say, I think Matt Hummels is there, Abi.
Yeah, Matt Hummels, Gregor Kobel, Niklas Sule, Emre Can.
To me, either Matt Hummels or Emre Can, because Emre Can also had a lot of experience in the English Premier League before going back to Germany, Bundesliga. I think between the two, but the best person I think the captain armband awards is Matt Hummels. Niklas Sule, you know what I really say about Niklas Sule is that Niklas Sule is not consistent. Niklas Sule is not consistent. If you look at me very well, Niklas Sule, you can't compare Niklas Sule with Matt Hummels. Age-wise, experience-wise, is far ahead of Niklas Sule. Same as Emre Can. They are both ahead of, even on the national team, they are ahead of Niklas Sule. So I think Matt Hummels should be if the coach wants to see it very well, for him to be on the safer's hand, he can elect 3 captains. 3 captains. After this, but me, I would rather go for Matt Hummels. And don't say it's possible for Michael Rose to be looking at deal maybe from Saudi Arabia and the likes. The end, because last season, what happened to Borussia Dortmund last season? It's very devastating. Losing the league at the last match of the league, whereby you have your hand, you on one hand on the trophy like this, the other hand is just for you to use it to lift it up, and you lost the title at the end, at the 10 minutes to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich doesn't even think they got the German Bundesliga. So it's one of the things that might deep in the heart of Marco Rose and say, okay, it's high time for me to leave Borussia Dortmund. And he has already spent a lot of years at Borussia Dortmund, so it's high time for me to leave the Borussia Dortmund team.
Okay, PSG eventually brought in Skriniar and Asensio to join the team. Skriniar and Asensio, and they still talked about Mbappe's decision. That's all for today. Skriniar and Asensio to the team.
To me, Asensio is a very good player as well, and let's say it's a like-to-like replacement for Lionel Messi from the right hand side, cutting back to his left hand side, left leg. Marco Asensio with his performance at Real Madrid. So I don't see PSG as a team that will weigh him down like that. I think he should even be able to replicate more goal scoring ability at PSG rather than at Real Madrid, because I know at PSG, let's look at the league. The league is not that competitive like that. So Marco Asensio should be able to get so many goals as PSG. Milan Skriniar, I think it's one of the deals that I see PSG getting as in one of the best deals that I see them got in this transfer market. But it's a free transfer. How old? 25 years of age from Inter Milan. So, and I think his partner with Marquinhos at the back for PSG next season should be one of the top notch that would even maybe if not get them Champions League, maybe get them to semi-final again and go back home with the with Luis Enrique. Because I don't see PSG getting Champions League next season.
Okay, Roma also targets McTominay. A comeback between Rio and McTominay. Roma, McTominay. How does these two link up? Is
One-
it that McTominay wouldn't have to get playing time at Manchester United now that Mason Mount has joined the team, or what do you see?
You know what fans team out there, what they always do sometimes is after like a season flashy performance from a player, you start just such a player will start be hype as you start hyping the player. Wow, he's a good player. I used to tell people, McTominay, what is good about McTominay aside from scoring shots from outside the box? Tackles sometimes result in red cards. But you know, playing under the coach like Jose Mourinho, maybe the stubbornness will increase more, and maybe sometimes his performance wise will increase under Jose Mourinho. I don't see McTominay, even though if he stay at Manchester United next season, the chance for McTominay to play more at Man U next season is limited. With the likes of Casemiro, don't forget they still have Fred, Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount. So and a whole lot of players like that. They are still going for this guy Sophia Amrabat. So McTominay going to AS Roma will be a good deal for AS Roma, but it depends on the price. Will Man U get a substantial amount of money on McTominay? Maybe £5 million, £10 million should do for McTominay to get to Manchester for AS Roma.
Okay, this is the deliberation on Martin Odegaard in comparison with Bruno Fernandes. Some are saying Martin Odegaard does had a very outstanding performance last season with 15 goals and 7 assists. Doesn't mean it replicates Bruno Fernandes at Manchester United. That Martin Odegaard cannot replicate his performance last season in the coming seasons. Is that true to you?
To me, I won't take that. I won't go with that, because the reason why I say such is, let's look at Martin Odegaard. He has went through a lot from Real Madrid. Loan, different kind of loan, Real Sociedad like that, and playing so much amount of games for Arsenal last season, scoring 15 good goals. I still see him replicating such performance next season, but the goals might not be up to that because of another intake from Arsenal, which is Kai Havertz. You know, let's say 15 goals for Martin Odegaard last season. Let's substitute 5 from it. Let's say possibly next season he might be able to score like 10 goals, but he might have much more impact in driving Arsenal forward. Maybe not with goals, maybe with more assists. Because if you look at the style of play of Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard, sometimes their style of play is more similar to each other. So saying he will not be able to replicate the performance next season, the last season performance next season, I go totally wrong with that. Because it depends on the mentality of the team that is playing presently. Depend on what the team, which player are they bringing in. They are bringing in a competitive player as well. So saying he will not be able to replicate the last performance at Arsenal, I don't take that. I see him replicating such a performance for Arsenal next season, because it will be very, very instrumental to Arsenal title chase next season.
Okay, Granit Xhaka. Let's not forget the story of Granit Xhaka when he joined Arsenal. He played a lot of games where in the first 2 to 3 years was not very productive for Granit Xhaka, where there was a match he pulled off his shirt of Arsenal before leaving off the pitch, and then it was ripped off of the captain band, and then even begins to fall on him. Arteta not really interested in Granit Xhaka, and now last season he scored a number of goals and was very productive for the Arsenal team, and eventually has signed for Bayern Leverkusen. My question here is, Granit Xhaka, the box-to-box midfielder, Kai Havertz, being said as his replacement for Granit Xhaka, because Arteta's prospect for next season is using Kai Havertz in the midfield position. Is it worth of a deal? Is it worth of a replacement for Granit Xhaka, Kai Havertz, Granit Xhaka.
What I would want Arsenal fans to keep at the back of their mind is Arsenal cannot get what they got last season from Granit Xhaka from Kai Havertz. You can't compare both. Defensively, Granit Xhaka is still very good than Kai Havertz. Moving forward, he's also good, but not as good as Kai Havertz. So Arsenal might benefit from Kai Havertz going forward, but defensively, Arsenal might not benefit so much from Kai Havertz than what they got from Granit Xhaka. And I think there's this coincidence. Whenever a player want to leave Arsenal, the last season will be their best. Why? But one of the best decisions I say Mikel Arteta made at Arsenal is stripping the captain armband from Granit Xhaka and restating him back into the team and getting the best out of Granit Xhaka. It's very rare. I can remember when Granit Xhaka plays for FC Barcelona. He's one of the best players for FC Barcelona there. That's where my question lies at. When a player is at a small team, when the burden of the team is on a player, when you get out from that particular team, going to another big team entirely, you know the burden will not be on you. The burden will be shared, and you have a star player at a particular club you are going to. And I don't see Kai Havertz replicating the performance of Granit Xhaka next season for Arsenal, but Arsenal might gain a lot. The workload might be on Declan Rice so much next season, because don't forget what Granit Xhaka bring to Arsenal team last season was one of the best that make Arsenal to go to where they got to last season. Because if you look at Granit Xhaka, from the attacking style of play, he used to join attack with Martinelli from the left hand side. And don't forget, there are sometimes last season that Granit Xhaka was used as a left back for Arsenal last season as well. Centre back as well. So he's very, very instrumental to Arsenal success last season, and I think it's high time for Mikel Arteta to look into that and see whether he should release this guy, Thomas Partey, or not. Still Fabio Vieira as well. So replicating Kai Havertz and Granit Xhaka, I don't think they are like our player. You gain another thing from Kai Havertz, whereby another responsibility will lie to another player in the midfield for Arsenal.
Okay, time is not by our side today. We still have a lot of transfers going on around which we would like to discuss. But you can still meet us tomorrow between the period of 8:30 to 9 o'clock a.m. on SPORTVILLE on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Rounded off program today on Al-IyamoyeTV and radio. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel or click on the notification bell for more programs like this. I remain YAZID.
Sure, I'm sure MOSHOOD SMD Sports.
Very good.
Bye.